Welcome to the ADHD Mind, a space for ADHD, creativity, and personal development. Can digital minimalism make us happier? According to Newport, the author of Digital Minimalism, Choosing a Focused Life in a Busy World. Digital minimalism is a philosophy of technology use in which you focus your online time on a small number of carefully selected and optimized activities that strongly support things you value and then happily miss out on everything else. I'm not totally against the use of technology because thanks to technologies and innovations, we are able to stay connected with our friends and loved ones miles away. Besides, I can have access to this wonderful world of knowledge at the click of a button and learn about anything I want from people all over the world, which, thinking back to my early childhood, we never had that luxury. Only a few lucky families in our neighborhood had access to dial-up internet, and it was terribly slow. So it is a remarkable thing to be where we're at right now compared to 30 years ago. However, the rise of technologies and social media also come at the cost of our mental health, attention span, and many other areas of our lives. Number 1, compare our lives to others on social media. With social media posts, you normally only get to see a few seconds of someone's best moments in their lives. Most of the time, contents posted on social media are carefully crafted to attract the most views or likes. Therefore, people are only going to show the best versions of themselves, photos with the best angles, and stories that attract the most audience. Rarely is anyone going to show you what they're really struggling with behind the screen. By constantly consuming these types of contents, you're more likely to buy into this delusion that the person's life you see on social media is perfect, and they have so many things that you don't have. For example, a perfect body, a dream wardrobe, exciting adventures. And guess how we would feel after that? More often than not, feeling worse about ourselves than before, because now all of a sudden, we obsess over all the things we don't have. Just pause for a second before getting yourself into this comparison trap and spirals of negativity for the rest of the day. You only get to see a very small part of someone's life online, which is not the whole picture. Therefore, those comparisons are deeply flawed, and they can truly hurt your mental health. So be selective and choose how to consume these contents wisely, instead of letting them take control over your life. Ask yourself this question in the back of your mind before consuming any social media content. Will I feel better or worse after this? And decide for yourself. You may also want to avoid scrolling on social media first thing in the morning when you just wake up, to set yourself up for a positive and productive day. Number 2, lost connection to the real world. Instead of spending our time to cultivate relationships with others in the real world, many of us relied on the number of likes or views we get on our posts across various social media platforms. I'm not denying the positives of this social media post. For example, through Facebook posts, that's how I stay up to date with my friends and family living far away, whom I don't get to see often, and it's amazing. However, it will become concerning when we replace our real-life connections by the number of views and likes we get from social media when we start to base our self-worth on it. In his book, Lost Connections, Johann Hari said that in this generation, despite the fact that we are more digitally connected to one another, we as a society are lonelier than ever before. Many of us are living in this imaginary digital world with tons of connections across different platforms, but a lot of the time, we still feel lonely due to the lack of real human connections or relationships instead of only through a screen. If you look at this from an evolutionary perspective, one of the main reasons why we as human beings thrive and survive throughout history was not because we're the strongest of all species. Instead, it was due to our ability to form a group or tribe and work together to protect each other from all different sources of danger. That's what helped us to be where we are today as a society against all odds. Number 3, does social media make our attention span worse? This is an interesting question that I wanted to find out. As we're all familiar with the important role of dopamine in our motivation, focus, and pleasure or reward system. A 10-second video from TikTok or Instagram Reels can instantly give us a quick hit of dopamine, leaving us craving for more and keep on scrolling. And these algorithms are designed in a way that they know your behaviors and preferences even better than yourself and keep feeding us with more of similar content to keep us on these platforms as long as possible, the more profitable it is for them. However, if we look at this from the perspective of the consumers, it is detrimental to our physical and mental health, and many have become addicted to social media. It is a habit that is extremely hard to get rid of. We increasingly prefer shorter and shorter contents to get instant hits of dopamine and keep swiping for more endlessly. Sometimes we totally lose track of time and have no idea where all our time went. It may feel really satisfying in the moment, but we will end up feeling bad about ourselves at the end of the day with all the hours lost that could have been spent on something more meaningful. I still do see the values of social media and technology in my everyday life, and I wouldn't completely stop using them. However, this concept is worth thinking about and is making me more mindful and intentional the next time I decide to open my social media apps. I could pause for a second and ask myself, how does this make my life better? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon in the next one.